I think our third or fourth lesson under the al-hijabu al-shar'i, yani hijabu mar'atil muslima al-shar'i. So we started with the description of hijab. So what is the description of hijab according to the Sharia? So we've mentioned two things that should be found in the hijab before we can call that hijab. So the first we mentioned was the hijab itself should cover all the body. So due to the different proof that we have in the Quran and the Sunnah. And the second condition we mentioned was the hijab should not be a form of zina, a form of beautification in and of itself. So today, inshallah, if there's time, we're going to mention two more conditions. So the third condition that should be in a hijab before we can regard that as hijab is the hijab should I say translucent, should not be transparent. The hijab should not be transparent, because the aim from the hijab is the hijab should cover your zina. And since Allah said that wala yubdina zinatahunna, that they should not show their beauty to foreign men. They should not show their beauty to foreign men. So if you are now wearing a hijab that is transparent, then that aim is defeated, because the aim, or one of the greatest aims for the legislation of hijab, is you cover your aura, you cover your private parts from being seen by foreign men. So if that's the fact, if that's a fact, then one should make sure that the hijab you are wearing should be a hijab that does not show anything from your beauty. It is just something that is opaque, that is, so you can't see through it. You can't see through it. So because like we mentioned, if that hijab is see-through, whereby I can see what's beneath the hijab, then it would call the attention of men, and whoever sees you wearing that kind of hijab, and perhaps what shouldn't be seen would be seen. So the Prophet mentioned in a hadith that it's a hadith that was narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. So the Prophet mentioned there that nisa'un kasiyat ariyat ma'ilat mumilat la yadkhulna al-jannata wa la yajidna rihaha. He said nisa'un kasiyat ariyat ma'ilat mumilat la yadkhulna al-jannata wa la yajidna rihaha. This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. The Prophet mentioned in this hadith that we have some women, kasiyat, that are clothed, that is, they are wearing clothes. We have some women that are wearing clothes, ariyat, but they are still naked at the same time. They are kasiyat, ariyat. They are wearing clothes and they are still naked at the same time. Ma'ilat. So, and they've turned away. Ma'ilat, they've turned away from the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mumilat, and they are turning other people away from the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet now said that women that have these characteristics, la yadkhulna al-jannata, they will not enter Jannah, wa la yajidna rihaha, neither would they smell the the odor from Jannah. They will not perceive Jannah at the least. So the point here is, the Prophet said kasiyat ariyat. So they are wearing clothes and they are still naked. So from the things that we can surely say means that you are wearing clothes and you're still clothed is and you are still naked, rather, is you are wearing your clothes and we are still seeing through that clothes. So in reality, you are still naked, even though you claim that you are wearing clothes. So Ibn Abbas rahimahullah ta'ala, when he wanted to explain this hadith, Ibn Abbas rahimahullah ta'ala, when he wanted to explain this hadith I just read, Nisa'un kasiyatun ariyatun ma'ilatun milat, la yadkhulna al-jannata wa la yajidna rihaha, he said, al-maqsood, the intent from this hadith, anna nisa'a, that women, al-kasiyat, that are wearing clothes, al-ariyat, and are still naked, kama qalahu al-mashayikh fi tafsiriha. What it means is annahunna kasiyat min ni'amillah. What that means, or one tafsir of the hadith is, yani women that are wearing the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Women that are wearing the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He now said ariyat min shukriha, but they are naked from its from its shukr, from its appreciation. Yani they are not appreciating the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, هذا أحد التفسيرات لها. He said that is one of the tafsir of this hadith. He also قال آخرون. So others from the scholars, they mentioned that the meaning of this hadith is kasiyat, yani kasiyatu thiyab raqiqa. That is, they are wearing clothes that are light. These are the tafsir of the ayah. He said that women that are wearing clothes that are light, ma tastur al-bashara, it does not cover the skin properly. Ariyat fil ma'na. In reality, these clothes are not there in reality, because the clothes are not covering what it should cover. So he said that this is another tafsir of this hadith. But if you look at the two tafsir, you see that in reality they don't contradict each other. It's still the same, just that one is more encompassing and the other is more restricted. The first one, it was mentioned that generally they are wearing the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you have clothes on you, it's from the blessings of Allah. When you have clothes on you, it is from the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the first tafsir said that ariyat, that means that you're not thanking Allah. That's the meaning. That's what ariyat means. You're not thanking Allah for the blessings that He has given you. So, yes, the second tafsir still goes in line with the first one, just that it is more restricted to the fact that Allah gave you clothes to wear. Allah gave you clothes to wear. So instead of you to use those clothes to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to be thankful to Him and to obey Him and to wear clothes that He asked you to wear, you're not doing that. Because just like Ibn Qayyim mentioned, that when you say you are thanking Allah, it means you are using the things that He gave you to obey Him. That is ash-shukr lillah. If you want to thank Allah, it means that you are using what Allah has given you to obey Him. So if Allah gave you something from blessing and you don't obey Him with that thing, then it means you are not thanking Allah. Allah gave you two eyes, for instance, and you're using those two eyes to look at what you should look at. It means you're not thanking Allah as regards to those eyes. Allah gave you two hands. You're not using the two hands to worship Allah, rather you're using it to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means you've not thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that thing. So Allah gave women, or these women, clothes to wear, and they are using it to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can see that both the first tafsir and the second tafsir, they don't contradict each other. Okay, so the point is, the second set of scholars, they believe that what this kasiyat mean is they are wearing clothes, but they are still naked at the same time. The Sheikh now continued. And he said that وَقَالَ آخَرُونَ فِي تَفْسِيرِ الْحَدِيثِ. Some other scholars said, as regards this hadith, مَعْنَاهُ كَاسِيَاتْ بِثِيَابٍ قَصِيرًا. Kasiyat means that they are wearing clothes that are qasira, that are short. They are wearing clothes that are short. La tastur, does not cover them. Kallati talbasu thiyab allati ila raqaba. Just like the one that wear, the woman that wears her clothes that just cover only the knees, but you can see the legs downward. But just the knees, that's what is being covered by her clothes. So that's kasiyat ariyat, according to some scholars. The Sheikh now said أو إلى بعد الساق, or to some part of the shin. وتكشف الرأس, and she opens her hair. كل هذه كسوة عارية. So all of these 2 points to the fact that you are clothed but you are still naked. نعم. فلا تكون الكسوة كافية إلا إذا كانت ساترة للمرء كلها. So the Sheikh mentioned that you can't say that that woman is properly covered until she covers all her body. You can't say that woman is properly covered until she covers all her body. Then the Sheikh now mentioned that فَالنِّسَاءُ الْكَاسِيَاتُ الْعَارِيَاتُ هِيَ الَّتِي يَلْبَسْنَ لِبَاسًا لَا يَسْتُرُهُنَّ إِمَّا لِكِسَرِهَا وَإِمَّا لِرِقَّتِهَا وَإِمَّا لِدِيكِهَا وَلِيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ حتى تبدو أحجام عورتها. So the Sheikh mentioned that, so in nutshell, what al-kasiyatu al-ariyat, what it means is women that are wearing clothes, but in reality, these clothes don't cover them properly, either because they are short, or they are light, that is, they are see-through, like we are discussing here now, or they are too tight, to the extent that her private parts will be showing. Yani things that shouldn't be showing to men will be showing. That's how tight the clothes are. So the Sheikh mentioned that هذه كاسية بالاسم. So this kind of clothes, we are going to say that it covers in terms of name, عارية في المعنى أو في الحقيقة. But in reality, she's still naked, because she has not covered what the Sharia asks her to cover, rather. So the Sheikh now said that وَأَمَّا مَائِلَاتِ مُمِلَاتِ. That statement that the Prophet said that مَائِلَاتِ مُمِلَاتِ, what does it mean? The Sheikh said فَهُنَّ الْمَائِلَاتِ عَنِ الْعِفَّةِ. That is, they've turned away from chastity. مَائِلَاتِ عَنِ الْإِسْتِقَامَةِ. They've turned away from being steadfast. إِلَى الْفَوَاحِشِ وَالْمُنْكَرَاتِ. So they've gone away from being steadfast down to al-fawahish, yani obscenity, wal-munkarat, and evils. يعني مائلات عن الاستقامة والعفة والصبر على ما أوجب الله. That is, مائلات, they've turned away from from al-istiqamah, from being steadfast and being chaste, and they've turned away from being patient upon what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered them with. Then Sheikh now said mumilat. Mumilat in the hadith means that يعني mumilat لغيرهن أي mumilat للنساء الأخريات. That is, they themselves, they are misguided. Now they are misguiding other females. They are turning other females from chastity. They are turning them from being, obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what mumilat means here. The Sheikh now said, يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْفَسَادِ. They are calling to evil. وَيُعَلِّمْنَا النِّسَاءَ الْفَسَادِ. And they are teaching some women evil. وَيُشَجِّعْنَا عَلَى الْفَسَادِ نَسْأَلُ اللَّهَ الْعَافِيَةَ. And they are giving them, this courage to do evil. So the hadith in nutshell is saying that women that are kasiyat, that are wearing clothes, ariyat, and they are still naked at the same time, ma'ilat, they've turned away from being chaste, mumilat, and they are calling other people, the other women, to turn away from being chaste. The Prophet said that if you see women like this, the Prophet said, La yajidna, la yadkhulna al-jannata, that they will not enter Jannah, wa la yajidna rihaha, and they would not smell Jannah. So not that they will not enter Jannah alone, but they will not smell Jannah. In fact, another hadith mentions that the smell of Jannah could be felt for 1 month journey. That distance of 1 month journey, that the smell of Jannah could be felt. Despite that, women that have this kind of characteristics, the Prophet said that they will not enter Jannah, neither will they smell the odor of Jannah. So if you want to wear your hijab, make sure your hijab is not hijab that is see-through, because if your hijab is see-through, whereby I can see what's going on under the hijab, then be rest assured that you fall under this hadith that the Prophet mentioned, that nisa'un kasiyatun ariyat ma'ilatun milat la yadkhulna al-jannata wa la yajidna rihaha. Then the points whereby the Sheikh mentioned that women that okay, let's leave that. Let's leave that. I don't think it's needed again. So if that's the case, then one should know that if you want to leave your house in the morning, look at the mirror and see that hope I'm properly dressed. Hope my hijab is not see-through. Hope everything is fine. So don't just leave the house like that without checking yourself. Check yourself that I hope I'm wearing the correct hijab. So you've known three conditions now. The first one, that hijab should cover your body. Secondly, that hijab should not be a form of beauty itself. You shouldn't wear bags or use bags that are that call attention. You shouldn't use color of hijab that can call attention, whereby you make use of probably all these colors that are flashy. You don't put wristwatch on your hand that will call attention. You don't wear rings on your hand. You don't put makeup on your face. So all these things will call attention. So if you are doing these things, then it means you've not fulfilled the conditions of hijab. Now, the third one that you've learned today is that hijab should not be transparent. The hijab should be translucent. It should be opaque. You shouldn't see anything under the hijab because of the hadith we've mentioned, and because of the fact that the reason, or one of the reasons the Sharia kept down hijab is we don't want to be in fitna. And if that hijab is see-through, of course, it will cause fitna. So it means that the reason the hijab was legislated is being defeated already. Okay, so that's the third condition. Now, the fourth condition, for your hijab, before we can call it hijab, is that hijab should be free, should not be tight. The hijab should not be tight, such that it starts describing the shape of the body. That hijab should not be tight. It should be free, such that it does not describe the body. Because the hijab, like we mentioned, was legislated so that it can take away fitna, so that we don't see what we shouldn't see. So if your clothes is being tight, then that means that we're going to see what we shouldn't see, and it might cause fitna. So that is why you should make sure that your hijab is wide and very free, and make sure that it is not describing the shape of your body, because of the hadith that came from Usama bin Zaid. We have a hadith that came from Usama bin Zaid where he mentioned that Kasani Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam kibtiyya kathifa mimma ahdaha lahu dihiyatul kalbi. So Usama bin Zaid mentioned that the Prophet gave me a cloth that came from the Copts. We have these Copts that used to be in Egypt. Now, so he said that the Prophet gave him a cloth that was made by the Copts in Egypt, and this cloth in reality was gifted to the Prophet by Dihya al-Kalbi. Dihya al-Kalbi is from the Sahabas. In fact, he was the one that the Prophet sent to Caesar, that his name was Hercules. Caesar, that's the general name for the kings, the emperors of Rome. So this Dihya was the one that the Prophet sent to Caesar. His name was actually Hercules. So, and Hercules did not accept Islam, even though he claimed that he honored the Prophet, and he even gave him a large amount of money in gold and some other clothes. From those clothes is this cloth that Dihya gave the Prophet, actually. So, but because of this dunya, Caesar did not accept Islam, and the Prophet mentioned that Allah, that the enemy of Allah has lied. So, because he claimed they accepted Islam, but he did not want to leave his throne, that was why he just used time to tell Dihya to go. So the point here is Caesar did not accept Islam, but Caesar gave Dihya so many things that the Prophet shared amongst the Sahabas. From those things that Dihya was given is this cloth that we are mentioning here now. So Usama mentioned that the Prophet gave him a cloth. So Usama now said that fakasawtuha imraati. Usama said, I gave my wife a cloth. Faqal, the Prophet now said, Ma laka lam talbas al-qubtiyya. and why didn't you wear the clothes I gave you? And the Prophet is asking Usama now, why didn't you wear the clothes I gave you? I said, Kasawtuha imraati. I said that I gave it to my wife to wear. Faqal, the Prophet now said that, Murha, tell her, فَلْتَجْعَلْ تَحْتَهَا gilalatan. Tell her to wear another cloth under. Tell her to wear another cloth under. Why? فَإِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن تَصِفَ حَجْمَ إِذَامِهَا. Because I am scared that clothes you put her to wear, it would describe the shape of her body. So the Prophet himself warned women not to wear clothes that are tight, clothes that would describe the shape of the body. So because if you wear clothes that are like that, it's going to, cause fitna. So before you go to the tailor, you already know your size. So you should tell the tailor to, sew double of your size or even triple of your size if possible. So I don't think that it's possible for you to tell me that there is a way you can't sew your hijab that it would not describe your shape. You can't say that it's not possible to sew hijab that would not describe your shape. It's not possible. So you can't say that. So once you know your measurement, then the tailor should sew it, twice your size or thrice your size, in such a way that nothing will show from your body. So before you leave your house, look at the mirror that, okay, this clothes I'm wearing, I hope nothing is being described from my shape, from the front, from the back, nothing. Make sure that everything is intact before you leave the house. But once you see that this clothes I'm about to wear, in reality, is going to describe my body, then one should not wear it. So that's the fourth condition. That's the fourth condition of hijab. The fourth condition is that clothes must be free. Should double your size, should triple your size. Once it is exactly your size, forget about it. It's going to, describe your body. So that's the fourth condition. So now we've learned four conditions now. The first one we said, I'm repeating it on purpose. The first one we said is it should cover all your body. Nothing from your body should show, not even your legs. The second condition we mentioned is the cloth should not be a form of beautification in and of itself. And you've not attached anything to the clothes, like putting stones on the clothes. Some will put stone. Stone is beautification. Or some would use fancy colors. It's beautification. Some will put, lali on the hand, and they will not wear gloves. It's still beautification. Some would wear wristwatch. It's still beautification. We're not saying you should not wear wristwatch, but cover it, or at least don't wear it outside. Some their earrings will be showing, and so on. So all these things should not be showing from the woman. Some their necks will be showing. Allah understand. So everything from your body should be covered. Then the third condition we learned again today, we mentioned that the clothes should not be transparent. And lastly, we mentioned that the clothes should be free and should not be tight. So I think we can stop here for today, inshallah. So in the next class, we are going to mention the fifth and sixth condition, and probably the seventh condition on that same day of al-hijab al-shari'i. So هذا صلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.